meeting to order of the National Council, meeting with the chamber
And the MSD.
in MSD, yeah. And the first item is the approval of the minutes. Who's gonna take this meeting? Who's in charge?
Well, since we didn't put them in the packet, and they're the Downtown Strong's meeting minutes, staff would recommend we just table that till the March meeting for the Downtown Strong.
So now we're gonna have our discussion of the Christmas decorations, lighting with Downtown National Strong Board, Town Council, and the Chamber.
So, if you guys had a chance to read the agenda reports, the poinsettias that we put up for Christmas decorations downtown, I mean, that goes from Barn Street up to CVS, they're in good shape. They're not too old. And so that would be line 2 here. There are 18 of those, and those are good. The Christmas wreaths and decorations, Lee Brown is here. He's our Public Works Director. You can give a report on their condition, if you would, please. Hey, Donna, we got you over here.
So the Christmas decorations vary in age and condition. As you know, the poinsettias are the newest and the best. They function well. They look good. They're easy to hang. The wreaths are in varying condition. They're mostly 30 years plus, I would say, is my understanding. They're not. Most of them have lights. The lights, we get them all working, and then in a matter of days, they begin to fail. A good handful are probably older than 30 years. They don't have lights. And despite how we store them vertical, we hang them. The bows, they tend to warp and they fade with the sun. And then we also have a small cache of stainless steel Christmas decorations.
We know about those.
Yeah, y'all know about those. They were before my time, but
And mine too.
so the story there, if you don't know, is my understanding is they were purchased and they didn't live up to the expectations. And so we kind of keep those off to the side because we're not really sure what to do. If we move forward, do we just hold on to them for a rainy day? But
Thank you for being on side when we put them back.
We might put them on the trail. and
Are we
when we
supposed to
get-
be able to add to them and change them?
No, not the footballs or socks.
I, for some reason, was thinking they said that they could alter them.
Not those.
And then, the wreaths, I guess the biggest thing, our concern is, from an operations perspective with the wreaths is, they're easy to catch the wind on a windy day. And so, we find ourselves either having to take them down, try to repair them, or receiving the calls that, hey, it's been just blowing in the wind, it's hanging, it's sagging. The lights are failing, and it's pretty much to the point where we can't really keep up with the lights.
Well,
The
30
lights
years is
failing.
pretty good.
So
For something like that, the last 30 years.
How many of the poinsettias that you've got hanging from Barn Street up to Cooley Corner, how many of those don't have operating lights?
I think we got all of the poinsettias working, and there's, I think, 18 poles, so we've got about 18.
So we got them all working, got all those working.
Yep. The issue with the poinsettias this year was the receptacles.
And was that a problem with some of the?
They said they showed up.
But we never got all the poles back working, right?
I don't believe so.
We got a repair confirmation on every one of those poles.
Yep.
Of the light, it didn't work.
Of the 9 we put in, there's only one that actually worked after they got done repairing it.
Yeah, it was funny. Doretha,
But anyway.
that lives on Washington Street, she called in and said, I just wanted to follow up, on the call, the lights weren't working. And I saw Duke out here, but they left, and they're still not working.
Still not working.
So,
But that's another problem for later. But,
right.
What we wanted to do is get the 3 groups together today to have some discussion about retiring the wreaths and finding something different to put in their place. Anything with the tinsel on it or the greenery on it, they're nice during the day because you can see them. You don't really see that stuff in the evening. When the lights come on, then you see that. But the problem with those is, like Lee mentioned, they capture the wind. And with the exception of our poles downtown, which are concrete, all the rest are wood. And no matter how tight the guys crank the brackets, when that Christmas decoration catches the light, it does one of these, and it dimples and dents the wood pole behind it, causing it to become loose, and then that's when they start coming down. So what Public Works guys were thinking is if we went with a different type that didn't catch as much wind, they would weather and stand on the wood poles much better than the wreath greenery that we're currently putting up. So don't know if you guys have had a chance to click on any of those links to the 4 suppliers. I just pulled one up here now. This is the company that we got the poinsettias from. And they're in Youngsville, North Carolina, so they're fairly
Be
close
nice
to
if we
us.
could do business with somebody in North Carolina.
And I mean,
Actually came,
Yeah.
yeah, they actually came and brought in some.
Isn't that where the
things.
tree
And
is
see,
from too?
the ones with the lights, like the angel and the candlestick, they're easier to store, I've been told, and the wind goes through them because the lights are around them. And it doesn't, damage them like it does the wreath.
That's not the
And I
price.
love the poinsettias, but sometimes they look like starfish to me.
they actually have some in the shape of dolphins and
Uh-huh.
marlins
And we
and,
don't
They're
have
for the
that
beach.
in Nashville.
They're for a while.
okay.
But when you go, I even went through a little town named, what was its name? Eureka.
You read.
And they had the little angels on the side and the tree, and they were just so elegant and attractive looking in that little country town.
They got angels, there's one there, there's one here,
I mean, I like the Christmas trees and candles.
Christmas trees, candles.
They're more expensive, I believe, someone told me.
Randy,
but
how
they
big
last
is the
longer.
ones?
How big is,
Yeah, because I think they have those things in different sizes.
well, this Silhouette Fantasy Christmas tree is, sticks out 5 feet and 8 feet from top to
How
bottom.
big was the poinsettias that we actually got, and what year did we purchase them? Was it 5 years ago?
Yeah, I think it was the first year I was mayor, so yes,
Sounds
about 5 years ago.
It looks like poinsettias are 5 feet up and down and stick out from the pole 5.5 feet.
Okay, because, that's the thing, when you do want to look at something, you want to make sure at least they're that big.
And that was one of the problems with the metal he just mentioned a while ago. They were tiny.
I think we try to see those or something.
Probably the only person.
So like this Silhouette snowflake here, click on it. You can get them in different sizes. The biggest one is 6 foot. They got a 5 foot, 4 foot.
Well, I don't think we want them bigger than what we already have existing on the pole. Because we're gonna put them on both the west end and the east end, east to west end. So you would want the bigger ones to be on the outskirts and the smaller ones to be in town.
Well, I mean, I think they should mix them up. I don't think we need to have 18 poinsettias just in one row.
Just mix them all through.
Mix them all through it.
Then they need to
Because you
be, they
can't
need to
do
be the
that,
same size.
because, Steve purchased them.
Hmm?
That's right.
So we're not.
Yeah. The
Well, they could go
poinsettias.
down the district, down on Washington.
Yeah, but keep in mind, they function very well on those concrete poles because the brackets don't give. And they're the ones, the poinsettias are the ones that capture a fair amount of wind.
Right.
But the wire ones without any, tinsel or greenery on them, the wind passes through them easily. And I think they would stay put on the poles much better.
So on the poles, it's not a strap that goes around the pole, it's actually attached like a screw or something on the side?
Well, they show the mounting brackets. Let me pull one up here
Strap
quick.
that goes around the pole and tighten down.
think all these show their mounting bracket.
Lee, don't you think if you put something between the strapless, the band itself and the pole for it to tighten down on it, to give it a little bit more grab? 'Cause
It
the pole's
may.
slick, you know.
This company, I think, had a picture of its mounting bracket. Let me just double check. They're pretty much all the same. The mounting bracket
Yeah, the pole
systems.
bracket's pretty much the same.
So that's what the
That's what I'm
mounting
saying.
brackets look like.
You think that wind wouldn't affect that, and everything on with the strap on it?
So, well,
That's
when
right.
there's no decoration on it, it's just fine. But you know, you slide into that channel, something that sticks out 4 or 5 feet from the pole, and it catches wind. I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot of movement before the wood pole behind it gives. But I don't know if you guys want to go through page by page and we can make note of which ones you like to narrow it down.
I've already picked mine. Let's see what mine is. Middle road, middle. Got it. Go up.
Here's the first page of this particular company that we've been using. They got the presidential snowflake, the silhouette snowflake, the spiral snowflake, the diamond snowflake. You may want to pay attention to the price too.
They're all very expensive of that.
The Winterfest snowflake, the morning,
Are they on sale?
oh, they're always on sale. I mean,
Well, you've got to decide, do you want all snowflakes? Do you want a variety? What do you,
yeah, I mean, then they also got the Christmas trees and these
you want
illuminated
all
wreaths,
lights?
angels. Here's a holy candle. On page 2, they got the nativity star, a candy cane. And here's a palm tree. Again, probably for the beach. Here's a couple with sharks. Go to the next page. You know, the Star of David is there. There's some more turtles, a whale. Here's a alpine snowflake and a 5-foot Winterfest snowflake.
Because I don't pay attention in Christmas time, where are these? Washington, Eastern, and Barnes?
All the way down to the, yeah, all the way down pretty much to,
Lee, where did you guys put them out this year?
past,
The poinsettias are on Washington Street from Barnes to
Alston.
Alston, and from 64 to Barnes, on West Washington, 64 to Barnes, and from Alston, kind of headed up towards LBJ. That way, they are the wreaths,
Stops at LBJ?
typically, yes.
I don't know if we had enough to get that far with what we had left in inventory that actually works. I know we got to Piggly Wiggly,
Yep.
but here's the pole count, you know. Line 2 is downtown, those 18. Line 1 there's from 64 to Barnes Street, so that's Lower Washington Street, you know, past Hardee's and the Waffle House. Line 3 then is Alston to First Street, which is, you know, Doretha Johnson's and, you know, Brian's house is along there, the Methodist Church is along there. Then we got Washington Street from First to LBJ. So that's the Cooley House all the way up to LBJ Chevrolet. There are 53 in there. Then we have Barnes Street, which I don't think we put many on Barnes Street the last few years, have we?
No.
And there's 35 poles from Washington up to the junction or Railroad Street. So, you know, if you found a Christmas decoration with the average price of $680 and we did all of those, it would be $74,120. And, you know, since the chamber's not really represented fully here, we could say they're going to pick up a majority of that. Okay.
Can you even put those on Washington Street? Can you put those on Washington Street, or are they gonna be too far out in the road?
The wreaths are approximately 4 by 4, so I don't think the 1 foot extra will make a difference.
In Lower Washington, you know, typically those poles set off the curb
Yeah.
a good 4 or 5 feet. So there they wouldn't be a problem sticking
It's
out.
just the other
Barn
part.
Yeah.
Street would be the biggest one.
Yeah, Barn Street probably would, because those
That's-
poles are right on the back side
Right,
of the
yeah, so
curb.
that was.
There's somebody from the state that's complaining, right?
We haven't gotten any
That's what I'm
complaints,
saying,
but
that was what happened, right? If it was a problem, that's what would happen. Is the state would come in and say, what are you doing?
yeah. I mean, there's
I can't imagine them doing that.
there's the opportunity on Barn Street to put them on the back side of the pole, like where we have the banners right now.
Yeah, that's, yeah,
Because we have flags for church.
Yeah. the banners look nice to me.
Do we have Christmas banners?
Yeah, we have Christmas banners too.
And they're in good shape, aren't they, Lee? Pretty much.
They're in pretty good shape, yeah.
I guess we got to decide which ones we want before we move further. Decide which ones, probably.
Then you need to find out how many, I mean, basically that, do you wanna do them all throughout the whole town, or do you wanna go with flags?
Flags or banners?
Flags for part of the town. You know, you've got flags on church, you've got flags on barns. You know, I mean, to me, it's getting to be a,
Hodgepodge.
yes.
We're talking about Christmas lights, we don't have lights on the flags. There's no lights on the flags.
No, there's nothing on the.
So at night, they would just be.
They're actually
Be there.
banners, aren't they? Are they
They're
flags?
banners, they're banners.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Little-
yeah, that's what I
A
thought.
little banner thing.
Do all the poles have a socket receptacle?
There's one pole that's really pitiful. I rest my case.
What's the address of that pole, Mayor?
It's probably on
The
Washington.
one right in front of my house. I've got to tell y'all a story about that pole. I had been praying that somebody run into it, knock it down, and not get hurt.
And they did.
No, they ran through my yard, went between the pole and the wire, and didn't touch the pole and scraped the wire.
We tried.
Now I've got to pay to get the yard
I
fixed.
think that'd be in front of the
But anyway, that's another story.
I mean, I do agree, if we're gonna do it, we need to do it where it's all uniform and we have lighted, you know, I guess, decorations throughout the town. To me, it makes it look more inviting, it makes it more welcoming. I mean, I drive around a lot of towns at night and I see tons of decorations that unfortunately do a lot better than what we do. So I do think it would be nice to have it where people know nationally, and this is what we have.
But those places don't have 153 poles.
No,
No.
no,
Well, there's nothing saying we have to put them on
Well, we
all
could, that's what I
these
was
streets
thinking, you know, the
right
places
now.
that have the banners, we could leave those and do a little bit at a time.
Well, go back to my question, the one with the banners, if there's not a receptacle, then who pays for that? Put one there.
What are you talking about?
All
A
light
ban-
poles don't have receptacles, do they?
No.
No.
they do
Correct.
Okay, so you gotta have power to the light.
But not for the banners. You're talking about if we put like,
Right,
okay, I
right,
got you.
right.
So the poles that don't, well, the one in front of CVS that got whacked by the semi mid-summer last year, the pole didn't get put up till about October, and when it went back up, they didn't put the receptacle on it. And Lee, what was that cost to get the receptacle on it? $480
420 or 480, yeah, somewhere in
For
there.
us.
for us, yes,
Did it have it on it before it got knocked down?
it did.
Yeah.
And so why didn't they pay for it?
This is Duke we're talking about, there's no arguing. No.
So we need to plan if we ever, we
I don't know.
replace the banner with a light, we gotta
Good question.
include $500.
that's what they should be following.
Who
Even if we don't
took
have
out
to,
the
but we
pole?
should.
It was some trucker who got into the CVS parking lot, and when he came out, you know, you can only,
Did he not have insurance?
we assumed the DOT, our police did a report on it and sent the trucker's name and the insurance company.
Well, why didn't you send them a bill for the $400 and some dollars?
They'll pay it.
We'll have to follow up on that.
Because we get them all the time for guardrails,
Yeah.
street signs.
Jeez.
So they should definitely pay for it.
I guess, Randy, it would be helpful to know which poles have electrical, if we're talking about, how many of these 153 have power?
Probably rough estimate, 40, maybe.
Are they spaced appropriately, like, where
No,
you could do every other
bar-
one has a
obviously-
light, the other ones have a flag or a wreath?
West Washington, right at kind of at the primary downtown spot there, those are all uniform, as we know. Once you leave out of there, you might have one, then you might skip 2, you might skip 4. It might be on opposite, it's hit or miss.
So we'd be talking more than just buying some lights. We'd be talking some infrastructure upgrades to the poles. If you wanted all of them to have lights on it.
They had lights on the ones all the way down to 64, because that's where they had the footballs.
And those were all lit up,
Uh-huh.
illuminated?
Uh-huh.
What we've been finding is as Duke replaces poles, they don't necessarily put the outlets on the new ones
Right.
that the old ones had.
I think probably, we really do need to find out exactly how many poles have electricity on it, because that's gonna determine the amount that someone's gonna wanna purchase. And also, you know, maybe so that the streets won't, I mean, you know, Austin has, Church Street has banners, and then Barn Street has banners, you know, why do we have banners? I mean, we might want lights. I mean, we're trying to promote joining the junction to Washington Street, that might be a thing. Maybe don't do, a decoration, do a decoration and a flag, or a banner, decoration banner, decoration something, you know, or something, I don't know. Because there's gonna be some poles that if we don't put lights on them, then they're not gonna be, like, if you're trying to do ornament and a flag, or ornament and a flag, it's still not gonna happen, because you might have flag, 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 and then a decoration. And then one flag, and then a decoration, one flag decoration, and flag, 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 flag decoration. With the way that it goes down this strip, you know, down by, the Piggly Wiggly and everything.
Well, I don't think we're gonna have the budget to do what's on the spreadsheet here with, to the tune of 74,000. And that's just for decorations, probably figure half of those, we're gonna have another $480 to put an outlet on. And it's gonna take time working with Duke and their subcontractors to actually get the outlets put on them in a timely manner. So, is there a segment of street that you'd like to concentrate on for this upcoming Christmas season?
Is there a budget amount in the town council budget for this at all?
Well, in the past, we've budgeted for light bulb replacement, bow replacement, but not more than, and probably $2,500 to $3,000 in any given year.
So are we looking at each group paying a third of the cost?
That's up for discussion.
I mean, because it would hit, so you've got the MSD, which would cover a certain area, and then you've got businesses that are part of the chamber that are outside the MSD, which could benefit from it as well, and then obviously the whole town of Nashville.
I think it would be a good option if everybody can agree on it.
I can tell you right now, the chamber can't afford it.
Chamber cannot afford it.
What if we phased it in, so like, we're not looking at all of these right now, so, okay, we got Washington committed with the poinsettias. Look at how many light fixtures we would need on Barnes to do a light and then a decoration, every other one. Go down Washington toward 64. Make sure our MSD district is covered with updates, if those are both the gateways into the community. And then find out how many light poles you have with electricity going back towards Piggly Wiggly. And do every other with a light, the other ones with something that's either a wreath or a banner with no light, so that way you have something to look at during the day. But phase it
And
in,
you see how
like,
many
see
po-
how much you could,
See how many poles are not working. So we know how to put
So
up
you're
with that.
saying use some of the old decorations as well as.
Yeah, we could pull out, you know, maybe 30 of the best of the wreaths and
Right.
continue
So
to
you
use
can-
them.
get them, but I mean, even in the future, don't have a light on every single one, cause you do want something to look at during the day, right? Maybe. Or maybe the residential side of Washington doesn't want the lights, maybe they want something more traditional, I don't know.
Anyone else's thoughts on the matter?
Well, we gotta figure out who's responsible. And, I'm not sure the chamber is, obviously they don't have money, but even if they did, I don't know if this is a chamber issue. It may be negative, but I want us to get together with different meetings and do different things for the better of the town. But who's responsible for what is the question. I mean, I personally think that the town should take care of all of this, and it shouldn't come from the city or the chamber. That's my thoughts.
Have you looked at our budget?
I know this problem. I know that's why we're here in this room, but
Dear Jesus.
I just,
Let's have a prayer.
kind of look at it as what each board and which things should do. I just don't know if it's a responsibility of the other two to do. And maybe I'm solo on that, but that's just my thoughts.
No, I'm with you because, you know, years ago, when I got into the decoration thing, which, you know, I probably started turning on the music in the battleship, I would say probably, you know, 30 years ago. So, I mean, I've been in this, you know, a long time, and that is when I went to the town council, and I said, to Seth Rowland, and I said, you know, we cannot go with the budget that you have given for Christmas. It just cannot be. You need to allot a certain amount every year, so that when we do need to buy something, if it's every 5 years, then you've got that bill up by that time. And now we are sitting here in 2024, and we've got $2,500 for Christmas decorations. And to me, you know, this is a thing that has happened for all of these years. I mean, it has been going on for years. Larry, I know you've heard my soapbox on it.
Oh, yeah, I do.
That, you know, we need to, you know, a 5 to 10 year plan on these decorations because they're gonna wear out. And I can't remember the last time that I wasn't a part of selecting some of them, but I mean, you've got to have some kind of strategic plan out there in order to, you know, if it's gonna be, okay, let's do 5,000, but we're only gonna spend 1,000 of that this year, so then that 4,000 carries over to the next year. I mean, so that you can sort of stockpile that money in order to pay $74,120.
We need a sustaining fund to go from year to year. Every year we put a little bit more to it. Well, not a little bit more, but the same amount to it
Right,
every year.
and that's what I mean, when Donald Street was here, Mr. Evans was here, I mean, you know, I preached this soapbox, and then we're sitting here again after 5 years from purchasing the wreaths, and we're still in the same situation that we were in 5 years ago.
How much did we spend on those roofs?
I can't remember. Does anybody, I mean, I know the girl that was here was, the little short lady that helped.
Tina?
Yeah, not Tina,
Oh,
She was with, I don't know if she took Brian's place or right before Brian.
Julie Sprague's?
Yes.
Okay.
And so I'm sure that we could go back because it, you know,
Well, we spent quite a bit of money on them.
and the chamber helped at that time, if I'm not
We
mistaken.
did, we did. Mhm.
And so, well, that's because I feel like I don't have any help in that,
Well, maybe for today, we can come up with what you like in a replacement decoration, and then staff can work on coming up with a number of poles that have outlets that we can put them on. And
That'd
like
be good
Susan
enough.
said, we
That'd
could
be good
stagger
enough.
lit ones with ones that aren't lit. in those neighborhoods where we don't have outlets on every pole.
And the ones that you choose, they will bring them in, and they put it dark in here, and we actually, were able to see what they would look like and everything. They sort of got a feel of the size, because one of those stars that you're looking at, it's gonna look really small and not a lot when it goes on that pole.
So I can go back to the page 1. It'll go there. So they have about half a dozen, maybe 8 different snowflakes. Most all of them are the soft white light. The only one that would be different would be this star snowflake, which is the bright light with blue in it. Our poinsettias right now have the soft white light bulbs in them, don't they, Lee?
Correct.
Well, we're not cold enough to have a lot of snow, so I don't know why we want snowflakes on our poles.
The alpine looks like it's a bright white also, but the diamond snowflake is a soft white.
Miracle. Christmas miracle.
I look at it as a sign of winter, not so much that we're a snow town, but more of a reflection of the time of year.
All we do is snowflake.
You can do Christmas trees, you can do angels, candles. Anything jumping out at anybody?
I like the Christmas tree. I mean, Christmas tree.
They had 2 different colors. A 6 foot by 5 foot, 4 lines.
Oh,
So what about?
Yeah, this Christmas tree is 522.
but I like the other
There's
one.
another one that's up there, it's smaller, it's 4 foot by 6 foot.
Yeah,
It matches more the poinsettia.
That's 433.
So that one.
I don't know, you
It's the
won't
same
go
tree.
less than 5 feet though.
Well, it was 4 foot by
It's
6 foot, so it's
6.
4 foot wide, 6 foot tall. So that would be similar to the,
And can we get them to bring in like 2 or 3 of them?
Sure we can.
I assume we have plenty of time between now and Christmas if we act halfway quickly, right? We have time to have them bring it in and talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
How about that bow with the green thing on it on top, right down? How much is that? Down.
the wreath, the illuminated wreath.
Yeah, that's not right there. That's pretty.
Okay.
I would say do a wreath, a tree, a star, 2 different stars. And bells or a candle or something.
Oh, bells are
Or
a good idea.
snowflake, that's what I
The
meant.
bells and candles.
So you have an option.
I like the candle.
I didn't see any bells.
The bells are on another page.
Yeah.
I've seen the candle in a lot of communities.
Any
Well, I
votes
mean-
for angels?
Cheap.
And I've seen the angel, and it's
Different.
Okay.
But we just wanna try to make sure, I think, that we keep them all the same size. Like, we don't want one that's 4
Yeah,
foot
tell
tall,
them
and
your-
we go to
Your
one
5
that's 6
foot range.
We stay between 5.5 and 6 would probably be.
Yeah, 5 to 6 foot range.
I don't wanna bring it up, but how big were the ones that we didn't like?
they were a foot.
They weren't
They weren't very big.
They're about 3 feet
Three
tall,
foot.
maybe, and just,
So we want 6 for sure.
And they was narrow too.
yeah, they were real narrow.
But I think y'all should put them on GovDeals and sell them and make
I
money.
think you
I think
should
about-
sell.
Probably about
Just, if
16.
no one likes them, why are we holding them and storing them?
I think we were selling.
Like bulbs.
No, but why are we holding them? Sell them.
I think they were supposed to be like bulbs.
If we're not gonna use them in
And
any
they
other
turned out to
district.
like bulbs, and
Randy?
full bulbs.
Look at them on your
The ones
website.
we had with the metal one that didn't go over too well. Why don't we just go ahead and sell them?
We can, our next
We-
surplus.
But I want, hey, when you sell them, I want to see who buys them.
The town expert.
I said, let's put them on,
And who paid for it? Who paid for them?
let's put it out there and sell,
The MSD,
let's repay for that.
And they weren't cheap.
no, they were not.
So what I have are the
You wanna put them into some more decorations?
Christmas trees, wreaths, bells, candles, angels, Anybody for snowflakes?
I am.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
we need to see two different.
I just
snowflakes.
think that
Thank
when
you,
you need to look at the snowflakes and don't get one that just doesn't have a lot. You know, if they're like this and they don't have a lot, they're not gonna show.
Oh, that presidential
I
one
do
was
like the
pretty.
presidential
Oh,
one,
Yeah,
yes.
that's the one I like.
Yeah.
Me too.
Which
It's got
one
enough
is
lights.
That one or
that?
the Arctic one, that was way expensive,
Okay,
so.
yeah, that one or the.
Of course,
that
that
was
was
that
right.
one.
Show
Oh,
us.
see, the one to the
For
right
women.
over here, that's not gonna be as good because, you know, it's just not as much snow.
Which one is it, Amy? The diamond?
The one that Susan just said.
The presidential snowflake.
You like the presidential, you do not?
Yeah.
We do,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we
It has
like
enough-
the
it has
Arctic,
enough
but
lighting
you
to
know,
stay
we're
there.
mindful of
Yeah.
our budget. Sorry.
They're the most expensive ones.
Yes,
It's just got so many lights.
well, the presidential is not as expensive as the Arctic.
It's just plain white.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 648.
Let's go down to the five budget line.
Well, if we're gonna be mixing and matching, some will be more, some will be less. Hopefully it'll average out.
I mean, yeah.
Whatever we get, I think we just figure out.
The Arctic snowflake is 1,026.
Oh, no,
We
no,
know,
no.
that's, we can see that one.
And that was not as pretty as the president.
And are these, we need to make sure that the ones that we like are ones they've had in
Stock.
stock for a long time, that they're not new and they might go out
Right.
next year.
Okay. Well, I got a list of 6 different ones. We can come up with a list of poles that have the outlets on, and
With a
then
diagram,
Yes, thank you.
with the street, with the,
That would
do
be
it.
so helpful
Thank
to
you.
see.
and then we can bring that back along with a cost
Thank
estimate.
you, Cindy.
Is everyone good with this particular company since we've done business with them in the past?
Don't-
Yeah, I've worked
Don't
with
throw
them.
another company out there, cause that'll mess us up and we won't know which way to go. Let's just go with what we got.
I looked at every one of the
Is it
sites you
when you
gave,
go
and
to
Mosaic still had
Uh-huh.
those.
Okay.
And the tree.
And then we'll just eat the apple pie on top, once we find out.
Well, if we're good on Christmas decorations, we can move on, Mayor, to the
The
next
next
item.
item is the town banners with downtown Nashville Strong Board Town Council. Okay, go ahead.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody.
Before we go to the matter, are we all in agreement with the old metal, the metal ones we got, we're gonna sell those?
We're gonna give them a football kick and
So
send
the
them out.
funds need to go back to the MSD.
The funds, the
Need to go back to
did
the
the MSD buy
MSD.
all of them, right out? But if that's the case, then yes, the funds should go back to them.
You may not see that on the profit and loss statement, but
Hey, if it shows up $1,000, it shows up.
exactly.
Well, if we give it back to them, it's.
Well,
they
every
can't say
little
they
bit
ain't
they
got
I
it.
get.
don't want it to say, you know, that we did something wrong.
Well,
with
you
the
might put
MSD
it on-
money.
So
on our
one
new
thing with
decorations.
selling them, I guess I would just ask if you can all agree on a starting price. We have to, list
$1,000
it,
a piece.
we have to list a minimum bid.
How much do we
You won't
pay
never
for
get
them?
that.
I mean, what
How
is,
many do we
does
have?
anybody know?
I think you're gonna be best selling them as the lot.
Yeah.
There's, I wanna say there's about 16.
Doing
Yeah, Dylan knows.
How much we
He
do?
probably don't remember, but he knows.
And the metal is scrap metal value at least, right?
Some might say that's all
But
they're
we
worth.
should be able to go back to that invoice.
Yeah, we just need to know
Can't
how
we
to,
go
how
back
to
and
list them
pull
so
the
we can.
invoice where-
We should, if it's in the system, we should be able to find it.
Just give Dylan a call. He can tell you how to talk his head.
Me and Lee, we'll get together, we'll
Yeah,
figure
okay.
something out on it.
And if not, sell them as scrap metal and give them whatever it is. Get them, I mean, then let them
You might
take
like
up
that
space.
price.
Then that can be toward the new.
More Christmas
yeah.
Yeah, then you have
decorations.
some, then you have some money to put back into
Right.
the new stuff.
Say we close.
I would guess $5 to $10 scrap metal price.
Put it in a
How heavy are they,
Just
Lee?
so you know.
I think they're stainless, so you might get a little bit more.
And what do they weigh each?
Probably 20, 30 pounds.
Okay.
And you know, it might be that like a store might wanna purchase them for that parking lot. That's really would be something.
Like
really
Walmart.
nice. Yeah.
Got a
they-
big parking lot.
Because, you know, they could put them lower and they could see them, you know, and they could see that they weren't socks or footballs. They would be ornaments and stockings.
Something good that keeps on
Okay.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. As you know, it's that time of year again. We just finished our 3-year rental program with CGI. They have reached back out to me last week. Nikki called me. She wanted to know if the town wanted to do another 3-year commitment of the banner program. I spoke with Town Manager Langston about it, Mr. Brown, and a few other town employees about it. But it's pretty much be the same thing as before. We'll go to 3-year commitment. We decide to do it. We would have to put everything up. The labor side would be on us. They would do all the marketing side as far as making the phone calls, getting people to sign up, and then pretty much when the banners come in, we'll run them all the way to the holidays. Once the holidays come in, we'll put up our Christmas decoration. As soon as the holidays are over, put the banners back up to at least April, May. Pull them down in May with South Blooming Festival. The news will rotate back in June as they always do. I did tell her I wanted to talk with the Downtown Strong Board, Town Council to see if you on board with recommitting another 3 years, or we want to just go ahead and just tell them right now it's a good time for us just to bow out of it.
What's the price? Did it go up?
They went way up.
She didn't give me the price, but everybody I talked with business owners said it did go up this year.
$1,200 for 1 year,
Yeah.
which is ridiculous.
That's
Oh, was it?
ridiculous.
When I got them, the first year, they were $795. I talked it down to $595 because I told them $795 was a joke. And
That's
they
what we
committed to
did.
$595 for everybody.
Okay.
So I
Per-
told her
per
flat
year?
out when she come to me that 1,200 was not gonna be in my budget, and we'll find something else to do.
That's a lot of
Do
money.
you want me to see if we
I
can
just
negotiate
did it.
$595
For one
again?
banner.
I just did
Which
it
is
for $1,000, so
You pay
if
every
they
year?
do, if they
You
do
pay
that,
once a
then
year. It's-
Yeah,
they need to give me back my money, because I told them this was ridiculous and all this, they didn't tell us that we had, that, you know, we
Right.
can go ahead on and move, that we weren't gonna do it. I mean, they
Okay.
were very pushy, and so.
I don't think it should expect our merchants to pay that much for
Right.
those.
Well, I
It's
can call them
crazy.
tomorrow and
It was
negotiate a
done.
deal with her, see if we can
And if
work
she can't, just tell them we
$595.
like
And if
it,
she can't,
we'll see.
then does the board don't agree with just finding somebody else being done with, or?
Why
Make
don't we
our
have
own.
our own banner?
Well, I mean, I
what I
thought
just
about
said.
why can't Tim Glasgow print the same style banner?
That's
I
what
mean,
I
it's
was
nothing
thinking.
complicated. It's printing. It's just a matter of they may own rights to what we created
Right.
from an artwork standpoint.
Right.
But Tim's very good at creating his own.
Correct.
So, I mean, that was one of the, I talked to Susan. I have to admit, I talked to her because I was very frustrated when that lady called me.
Check into that. for
Okay,
them, 'cause
I'll
that-
give Tim a
that's
call
not-
tomorrow, see if he can give me a price of how much he would charge one for some designs.
And then,
See if we
and
can
if it's,
negotiate.
if you won't go down, we could at least talk to the Glasgows, they're right
Right.
here.
Okay, I'll reach out to both of them, we'll just follow back up in the April meeting on this.
And if you don't mind, if you'll just tell them to give back the merchants that have paid, because she gave me a list of those merchants that have paid.
Okay.
So what, you've already, Amy, you've already committed? You've already committed? How much did you go, 70?
It was like 1,000. something.
1,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what would the
Because we
MSD
only
have
paid
to
the
give?
full amount.
Nothing.
Nothing,
Nothing.
Okay,
we're just going back in the 3-year commitment, no money to be spent.
okay.
Yeah, we don't speak.
Right.
When is the 3 years end that we're in now?
This year right here, this will be our final year in the 3
Like,
years.
like December?
Yes, sir. Well, it'll be pretty much in May of next year, because it'll run all the way to the Blooming Festival. The new ones get installed in June, and they'll run all the way till right before the Blooming Festival, and then we'll be done with that whole first 3 years.
John, does our first 3 years get us to June and then they have to enroll for another?
Correct, yes,
So it's over in June,
Our first 3 years is over
in June,
this June.
June 2024.
June 2025.
Okay.
Of 2025.
Correct, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. And the next, is a discussion agreement about our pots.
So Lee brought one over so everybody could see. We got 10 of these. And they're gonna, our plan is to hang them on the concrete decorative streetlight poles downtown. Originally, we had thought there are 5 decorative poles between Barnes and Alston Street, right in front of the merchants, and we'd hang 2 on each pole. The guys got concerns. There's a banner on there, there's an American flag standard, and then we got the Christmas decorations that it's gonna be a busy pole.
Well, wouldn't you take the pots down when you have the Christmas decorations
Oh,
up?
absolutely. They'll be up basically
But you're
from,
talking about the connectors, the brackets.
The brackets will stay, it's, yeah,
I got you.
Well, Lee, as big as those pots are, I think one's enough on the poles.
right, so I think the original proposal, this will be the bracket, right? So you'd have the post, a bracket going this way, and then a bracket going this way, running parallel with the road.
On each pole.
I think that's kind of big.
And it would be, it's about 10 feet, this is about 10 feet in the air, the basket. So we have it extended as tall as it goes, because we're expecting, you know, some good growing flowers. So that's 38 inches, and so to make sure that it hangs no lower than 8-ish feet, the bracket has to go up quite a ways.
So we can put 5 on the merchant side, 5 on the courthouse side, and try them for this year. Lou reached out to the nurseries in our area to see about taking these to them, having them put the plugs in for the plants, getting them started in the greenhouse, so that 2 weeks before Mother's Day, we can put them out, and they got a couple weeks to get adjusted. You know, they're going from greenhouse to outside. They probably aren't going to not have a small setback, but hopefully it won't be long. We got one nursery interested. We talked to Harper's here in town, and they weren't real crazy about the idea. They said they'd have to heat a greenhouse from now until basically Mother's Day to get these started for us, and they weren't sure, but evidently Allen's nursery already has a heated greenhouse going, and it wouldn't be any problem. We were talking cascading petunias, cascading vincas to put in them. What else, Lou?
Talking about having some grasses to stand up and a variety of plants. He plans on putting like 6 plants in there. So there would be pretty, he'd have them as full as he could get them. And he really doesn't know what plants until his plugs come in, because his plugs are coming in this month, at the end of this month.
So a combination of different ones.
They were very excited,
He had
and I
talked
thought it
about
was an
a
excellent
variety
prize
of
that he gave
colors.
us.
Yeah, I
The
was
mayor
gonna
and
say.
me went out there and we talked about a variety of colors and maybe having a variety of some plants standing up, some trailing down. Maybe having some, sweet potato vine in there too, which grows really nice.
But he was excited about fixing the pots.
He was very,
and so I
very
think they would
excited
be
about
very
fixing the
pretty.
pots.
So they all need potting soil, they all need plugs, they all need to get started. You know, the price was $500 to $600 per pot, and we got,
No.
50 to 60.
oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong line. 50 to 60 per pot.
I'll do that.
Lord knows what we would get if you planted a bill. I get soybeans.
And we've already purchased the baskets?
We purchased the baskets and the hangers.
So what are we waiting for?
Yeah, let's go. Do you need a motion to spend this money at MSD?
That'd be great.
Motion to spend $600 to plant the potters.
A second.
Go ahead, Lee.
So as we prepare to hang the pots, if we're gonna switch up the original design, we'd like to confirm, do you still want the pots to run or the brackets to run parallel with Washington, or do we need to, if we can, set it
I was
perpendicular?
looking for my phone to
No.
show you the town I went to.
So you
that
change
had
it from 2 to 1?
Yeah.
Correct, and it changes it to 5 on each side of the street rather than 10 on one
And
side.
I think that'll look.
And then, how do you want them on the poles?
You want to face in the merchant side or facing the street side?
That,
or
and then
with-
we want it, I guess it'd be every
Every
other.
other one. Yeah.
Rotate them back and forth.
And I think they'll be safer facing the street.
Well, we
You're
have,
gonna face
for
one
Flag
at the
Day-
merchant and one at the, and the next one at the street, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
No,
Just all the
alternate.
street.
All the
Every-
streets.
every-
So we have one on, yeah.
Every other one. Everything
But
facing the
like,
street.
this one's facing the street and then the one at the courthouse would be the alternate. I think that's what we mean. Facing-
Facing the street, alternating poles.
Yes.
Yeah, all the-
Now, if we face them on the street during Flag Day days, those are gonna interfere with the flags we put in.
And y'all
Are
put
they
flags
above
out.
it or below it?
There's a lot of stuff in
Because
there.
they may look good with it. We can have,
We could, if we had to, I guess we could adjust.
Or could they go do flags every other pole? To miss.
good idea.
That's a great
Yes,
idea.
Yeah.
let's not junk it up.
Exactly right. That's a
So
good
that's
idea.
the.
Okay, So put the flag on
They
the,
were on the alternating poles.
That will look
Yep.
much better, that's a good
And then
idea.
that can make our flags, if y'all need to move them,
Yeah.
put them in some other parts of town. Y'all have extra flags now.
Yeah.
Still think it's too big.
So here's a typical pole we have downtown. Well, that one you can't see real well, but there's one right here. Here's the standard for the American flag on Flag Day. You can barely see the banner bracket for the Christmas decoration. On the back side, we have the brackets for the banners. That's why we're thinking of maybe hanging them parallel instead of perpendicular, because there's nothing on either side. There is on front and back, but Lee, I think you can figure it out.
But I think with the one bracket, it's gonna look better perpendicular.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to face it toward that street,
Yeah.
It'll be easier to water it,
not run with it.
and it'll be less likely somebody will walk by, jump up, grab it, and pull it down.
Well, that's the biggest concern, somebody hanging on them. You gotta get them up high enough so nobody can mess with them.
I would probably climb on that fence and get it.
You would. Brian, don't put them on your wall at night.
I know,
I
I
don't
might
wanna
hit my
walk,
head.
yeah, I wanna see you jumping up there.
So the nice thing about those, they have a 4-gallon water reservoir in the bottom of them. So we only have to water them 3 days a week. And, you know, the plants that Allen Nursery is talking about, they're hardy to full sun. They don't need a tremendous amount of water. So
And they're gonna put in slow release fertilizer, so Public Works will not have to fertilize them either. They'll just have to water them when they need it.
And did we have something to water them with, or you already have that container?
We'll get a tank and a shepherd's hook watering hose and all that.
yeah, they got a couple side-by-sides with beds in the back, and, you know, if we get a 60-gallon tank and a pump on it, they can just go up the sidewalk, you know, from the seat of the the side-by-side, put it up there, squeeze the trigger, water till it comes out of the bottom of the plant, and then go to the next one.
Cool. Okay.
So this will be the first Blooming Fest we have flowers
Downtown.
downtown.
I think it's too big.
Well, once you get them up there, Larry, they're not gonna look that big. I mean, it's like a street sign. When you're standing right in front of it, it's huge. You put it up, they don't look so big.
No, they don't, not at all. I mean, Waco's, you know, if you stand beside anything, it's like 5 feet, but by the time you get there, it's only 1 foot.
I heard what y'all was saying. I think it's too big. That's just me.
Well, if they don't work on the poles, maybe we can get the basket or stands to put them, you know, on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And put them right in there too.
We can sell them at Mother's Day. I'm at the Blooming Festival.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess with that, Mayor, we're ready to move on to the next item on the agenda. Lee, thanks for bringing that over.
Yes, please.
Do you need another agenda item?
For the 18th or for now?
No, I sent that email about the Main Street Conference. Did y'all have staff that wanted to go or elected officials that you want us to approve spending money out of MSD? I just, as an MSD member, highly recommend it with it being in Goldsboro to go. If you've got some new staff, if we're trying to do a lot with our downtown.
And they have really revitalized
Right,
Goldsboro.
and they did a lot of it with streetscape funding.
Sean, you've gone to that in the past, haven't
I
you?
went to the one virtually, I've been to one face-to-face before,
Right,
but
and
I mean, it had good
there's
information.
nothing that beats the face. The last one I went to was in New Bern before COVID, and it was great.
Any of the council members interested?
When is it?
When's the
It
date?
is March.
Question.
6th, 7th, 8th, or was it
I
week
think
after
so.
that?
I forwarded the one from Bruce.
Actually, I think it was 12, 13, 14, right?
I mean, it's like $250 for the full registration. So if you have 2 people or something that wants to go.
It is March the 12th through the 14th in Goldsboro.
Yeah.
I'm available for it, if Sean wanna go, I wanna go.
Would you like to
I
go?
would.
I mean, we can only send 2 council members at the same time, otherwise we'll have a traveling quorum.
Yeah, I think that I would make a motion that we pay for it. We used to pay, I think, for Julie to go and Tina, so let's get back on it if we're trying to ramp up
And how
our
long does
effort.
it last during the day?
There's a schedule, and you actually, if you can't go to the full 2 or 3 days, you can do like a half-day registration, so,
And where's it gonna be in Goldsboro?
several
Paramount
different
Theaters.
places, yeah.
You got it,
Now,
okay, that's
Are
fine.
you saying you will go there?
I mean, I'm gonna represent the staff, if Councilman Barry wants to come
Yeah.
also.
So for up to 3,
Yeah, it's not expensive.
Yeah.
And it's a drivable one, it's not like it's,
up to 4.
Could be up to 4, because they have an additional staff member come on right before the conference.
Well, could we pay for half and then the town pay for half?
Yeah, we can do that.
okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Next meeting, Sean?
Our next MSD meeting will be March the 18th, 2014, right here in Town Council Chambers at 5:15. Is that okay for all the MSD board?
And can you at that time provide us with everything that we spent from the MSD money, as well as the things that we've got coming out every year that we know that we're going to, have to pay out of that budget?
Do you want just for this fiscal year or previous fiscal years?
Well, if we could get previous, because we haven't really spent a lot, so if we could just get every single thing that we have spent, including those decorations, the big plush ones, don't wanna know.
Hey, send me an email tomorrow what year we bought those decorations so I can have trust some bad trade. So she won't have to go through,
I can't tell you that.
okay, we'll see what we can find.
Yeah, it's not likely in our admin system because they were bought before we were with that.
Right.
But,
But we should have something
Yeah.
that, that Sherry might have given us, that
Okay,
I'm not sure.
we can do that.
okay, we'll look at it.
It'll have a tree anyway.
Yeah, we did the tree, yeah. But we just wanna know what exactly.
It was interesting that you said about the music that you used to play. Somebody called me and wanted to know why there was no music down there this year.
They stopped putting the music box out.
The stereo probably died.
They'd always told me if they needed a new studio because I purchased them.
Okay.
But I did, I had several people call and want to know why the music wasn't
I
there.
stopped at the light and put my window
Me
down.
too.
I've never heard
since I was a kid.
Yeah,
So we'll look at
yeah.
that.
We
It's
don't
about-
like
Yes,
singing
you just
without that
roll your
music.
window down. when you're
This
at
is
the
the
stop
way
light.
to Well-
people are dancing.
We'll have it
Yeah,
this year.
we do that.
Any other discussion from the town council?
I'd like to say something.
Okay.
I wanted to give some feedback about the 2-hour parking that we did downtown. And I can say, I have noticed a tremendous difference in parking. When I open at 10, there are parks available down there. There's one thing, if they resurface that road and have to repaint the parking spots, is that I suggest maybe we put M through F on there, because I've had several people on Saturday say,
Oh,
I would stay a little longer, but it's only 2-hour parking out there, so there's some confusion about that. But other than that, I think it's worked well.
Thank you.
you know, it's been brought up that if you drive in and park, it's difficult to see when you back up. Some towns have switched where you back into your angle parking so that when you leave, you can see what's coming and just simply drive out. With the DOT gonna mill all that and re-put the stripes down afterwards, any thoughts on that?
I did it.
I get what
Kieran
you're
has
saying.
that. Kieran Nicola has that, and actually, when first I saw it, I was like, what in the world's going on? 'Cause I was- It said, no, can't enter, but then all the faces were going the wrong way. I'm like, what's going on? But once I figured it out, it was actually pretty convenient, once you figure it out. But that's
Wilson
learning
has
curve.
it now,
Learning
in
curve.
some of their area downtown.
these people can't do that. That street's too busy out there.
It's pretty busy,
There's
it's
no
pretty busy.
time.
Yeah, it's a thoroughfair out there.
It is.
Who's gonna- They won't even stop to let you back out. How they gonna stop to let you back in? Is there a motion that we adjourn then if all the business has been taken care of?
I make a motion, we're done.
All those in favor, let me know by saying aye.
I-
Thanks, everyone.